Hey there, ladies and gentlemen. This is your favorite podcast. I'd swipe right to that. I'm Grant Smith,
And I'm Ian Castro.
and we're here with episode 14. But before we get right into the episode topic itself, Ian, what are you swiping right on this week?
So as we are recording this, it is Wednesday, November 30th. And I'm going to swipe right on Wednesday, the Netflix show. It was really good. It is about Wednesday Adams. I'm a big fan of the Adams family. Uh, Today I could have gone to the gym or done something a little more productive. I'm doing this, but I spent about 5 hours binge watching the rest of the show. Each episode's an hour long, so I did 5 episodes. It was really good. The Fred Armisen plays Uncle Fester. Love me some Fred Armisen, man. But how about you? What are you swiping right on or left on this week?
Gonna swipe right on the new job. I kind of alluded to it last week's episode or the last episode. Started the new job now officially. Liking it so far. Coworkers are pretty cool. I processed an invoice today, a big one. So we moving on up in the world, baby. Yes, sorry, but feeling pretty good about that. Hope and like my new bosses, they're gonna be like out of office next week, so I'm kind of just smooth sailing on board and having a pretty chill time for the rest of December, which is nice.
Yeah, that's awesome. So, can you disclose any of this invoice, like last four of the CC? What was the PIN number? Anything like that?
Yeah, let me just pull up the order process form right over here and
There we go.
uh,
I mean, you never know, man. But speaking of work, I we basically have this company email where everyone has access to it. Like we have our personal, and then the one that everyone has access to. And whenever we don't pick up the phone, uh, it goes straight to our company email, the voicemail, because we have like MyTel or something like that. It just gets sent straight there. This guy left a 4-minute voicemail basically telling us about this story that he thought that we'd possibly be interested in. Wasn't interested in the story, but I loved that he started the call. He's like, "Hi, my name is Larry," or something like that. My social security number is, and then he proceeded to say his entire social security number. I'm like, is that is Larry going around leaving his social security every single time he leaves a voicemail?
he just wants to like call his like parents or something like that, wish him like happy holidays. Like, hey mom, hey dad, this is Larry. My social security number, you know it. It's still 348. Like he just
Yeah, I
goes
was
to set
just
up like a vet appointment for his cat or something like that, and he's just like,
yeah, no, exactly. Like I wonder if this has been a routine all his life. Like someone pranked him one time saying you have to do that. And he's just been doing it ever since. But no, he sounded like a man that was in maybe his like late 50s, early 60s. Usually I know there's a lot of like they don't know what to put on the voicemail, but when you're calling a news station just to tell us a story, you don't have to. Maybe leave it for when you call your doctor or verify some information with the bank. But I feel like you should definitely have known better.
yeah. Imagine calling up a pizza place and like instead of giving them your card number, you just give them your social.
Yeah. Hey, this is Larry. Just checking on the order. My order number. Actually, no. I'll give you my social. So they'll look up his social by or look up his order by looking up his social. Yeah, I thought that was really interesting.
So God bless him. God bless
God,
Larry.
God bless Larry. I pretended like I didn't open the message because you can always unread. So I unread the message, closed out the email, like not touching it. Not even gonna act like I did anything with it because I could ruin this guy's life. But he's putting himself out there like that. But enough about him. What's up with you, Grant? What are we talking about today?
Well, today we're gonna be talking about holiday meals, and like with the holidays you wrap like presents and things like that. On a side topic, There's also the Spotify Wrapped has came out today. So I guess before we get even more into the podcast topic, Ian,
Yes.
any thoughts on your Spotify Wrapped this year?
Yeah, thank you. I actually completely forgot that we were going to go over that. Yeah, this has actually been the most interesting Spotify Wrapped. Like the other ones have made sense to me. I've had Spotify. This is the fifth year now, and every other year has made sense. Like when a big album for me comes out, like Mumford and Sons or the Vaccines or something like that, obviously like half the album is going to take up my top five. But this year was a toss up. Like I was actually shocked. But before I, give any more details, how about you? How do you feel about yours?
Mine was a lot more unique this year. I think because last year was the first year I like got Spotify, like really
Mm,
like used it.
mm.
Um, so like last year, mine was mainly just Skin. This year, no, last year was Skin and a bunch of like lo-fi hip hop beats because that's what I would like use to listen to like while at work. Um, this year it was a good mix of Kanye, old Kanye though, old Kanye. Can't stress that enough, folks. Graduation. None of the new controversial stuff. Just the Graduation album. A good album. I promise. I promise. Okay. Um, but a lot of Kanye, a lot of Skin. Who else was there? Uh, shit. I just posted about it.
Yeah, while you get yours pulled up, yeah, so my top five were all bands that I saw this year, which makes sense as well. But I was shocked by maybe the order of it because I have Illuminati Hotties. They're like I got into them like heavy this year. Definitely at the beginning of the year because we saw Grant and I saw them in February, and I guess we were nonstop listening to her on the road trip up because we saw her in Atlanta, and then on the way back as well. So that probably skewed it. And then throughout the year, I always like sprinkle in a song or two, probably daily. So it doesn't really come as a surprise when I think about it, but to see it there first was very interesting. And then I have The Weekend, Bare Naked Ladies, Sunflower Bean, and Joji. Before Wrapped came out, I thought it was probably going to be Sunflower Bean or maybe Marcus Mumford because Marcus Mumford, my favorite artist, came out with that album this year. He wasn't even in the top five, which was very intriguing to me. But his album came out like in September, so maybe because it was later in the year, it didn't have enough time to accumulate.
Yeah, interesting. Joji came out with a new album too, as well as Smithereens.
Yeah, you see, even though Joji came out with an album, it is fucking 24 minutes long or
Is it really?
27. Yeah, dude, it's
Ah,
so short.
it's like one side of a disc. Like that's like insanely. I'm surprised.
Yeah, no, I was completely shocked with how short it was, and me listening to it the first time through, like I didn't look at the runtime to start off, and then when it ended, I was like, I like just started what I was doing or something.
Yeah. Were you in any like top listeners, like top percent of listeners for any particular artists?
Yeah, I was in the top point oh one or yeah, like top 0.01% for Illuminati Hotties.
Damn.
So that was pretty good. I was in the top listeners for another podcast, Talking Yanks.
Yeah.
Um, and then we could talk about our wrapped a little bit. What was that? How many minutes did we have?
679, I think.
Yeah. So we have 679 minutes of content that we put out this year. I guess during wrapped period. Like we're still putting out episodes, but they only track from January to October. And then our number one episode for this year was fast food restaurants, which was episode 4. And then our listener's personality is the enthusiast. So that means that we have some very avid fans, i.e., my mom, your mom, your
My
sister.
sisters. Thank you, Rahana, too.
Yeah, Rihanna. So yeah, though we have some very avid listeners.
Uh, I like the Spotify Wrap this year. I like some of the colors and the graphics that they did.
Yeah.
I like how they did like the posters of like the top like artists that you listen to. The one thing that sucks though was Kanye. Because if Kanye was in your top like artists, well his most recent album was Donda, which is just the black uh it's just a black album cover. Like it's just a black square. So it just looks very lame. I'll send you a photo
Yeah, please do.
because like it does not look cool at all, really. It looks like very out of place. Let me see.
Yeah, while you're sending that, did you mention who was the other four on your list?
Let me see. 1 second.
No, you're good.
I was also in the top 4% of Kanye listeners as well too.
Hey, there we go. They're like you are in the top 4%, aka only only like 15 people still listen to Kanye.
Here, I sent you a photo. You'll see what I mean though, where it's like if you look at the poster of all the other artists, it's just a black screen. It's just
Yeah.
Donda. But
Yeah, that is pretty funny.
the other artist that I had was Kanye, Måneskin. Boy with Uke was an interesting one that I just like kind of got into this year. Uh, the kind of like acapella type of guy. Well, he does some instruments and things like that. Crywank, like in my emo sadness, and then Aries was a pretty interesting artist. Ben had recommended me him, and I actually like a lot of his. I get Post Malone vibes from him. But would definitely recommend it if you're like looking for like a pop synth type of artist. Uses a lot of good synths in his songs. So good stuff there.
Yeah, I mean, to be completely honest with you, those 3, 4, and 5, never heard of them. So I'll have to give them a listen for sure.
Crywank's been around for a good while. A lot of very sad songs though, just like very depressive, which can be some people's taste, but other times it's just yeah.
No, I mean,
Just so
I
you know what you're
listen to
getting into.
Joji. Yeah,
True.
yeah. But yeah, good stuff. We decided to, do that little segment before because it came out today. Like I legit, I saw that Apple Replay, which is a poor man's Spotify Wrapped. Let's be honest. Replay came out yesterday, and I was like, that probably means Spotify Wrapped is coming out soon. And I took a nap after work this morning, and I woke up with like 8 notifications for Spotify Wrapped on top of the email that they sent out. On top of if I have post notifications on for anybody, people were posting their stuff on their story. I was like, whoa.
Even Twitter, they did something where if you like or Spotify, if you liked one of Spotify's tweets on Twitter, it would like send you daily reminders until the Spotify Wrapped like officially like released. I ended up liking the tweet like the day before, so I only got it like one notification once, but I thought that was kind of a cool little like marketing thing, to lead up to it.
Yeah, that's awesome actually. Because I knew it usually came out around December 1st. So did they do it a day early, or is it because other countries are already in December 1st? Maybe.
Maybe
Yeah.
like probably like Asia or like
Yeah, I know the Philippines. They were already in the future already.
yeah, probably 12 hours ahead or something. So that makes sense.
Yeah. So hey, I it was a good little wake up surprise after I took my nap. And yeah, I'm kind of happy about it. I've been listening to my top 100 songs on repeat all day.
You see, I like that too, how they put
Yeah,
together that little album for it of all those. Like
yeah,
a lot of them I like. I had Illuminati Hotties on there as well too. So I would always mix in some of their songs during like a bike run or like something like that, like in the gym.
yeah, for
So
sure. Sweet. Speaking of going to the gym. Kind of our topic today is the opposite of that.
Or what you might do after, I guess, after you have a big holiday meal. Is what we're getting into today. Um, Ian, in terms of your holiday meals, is this like the type of stuff that you look forward to, like once a year, where you're really like, oh man, I can't wait to have this? Or is this stuff you feel like you have like kind of throughout the year?
Yeah, so we are talking about holiday meals, and basically what we're doing today is Grant put together his ideal meal, I put together mine, and how I structured mine is kind of the majority of it is you're gonna have this once, maybe twice a year, especially with family, especially with my grandma. Um, we're gonna have it probably Thanksgiving time, and then she also makes a big Christmas meal as well. So yeah, this is basically what to expect around these like kind of holiday times. If, like sometimes like she loves to cook, so sometimes maybe we even have it for Easter, if anything.
Really? I don't think I've had like an Easter meal. I feel like most of the time it's always saved around like Thanksgiving, of course, and then like Christmas most of the time too. We'll kind of like half do a big meal for it, you know?
Yeah, yeah, for sure. But Grant, do you want to get into what your ideal meal is? We can structure it maybe like s- entree side, dessert, or you can say it how whatever order you want.
Sure. I'm gonna start with a side on this one, but for
Okay.
me it's kind of the coup de grace, the biggest thing that I always look forward to every holiday meal time. It's the pepperoni stuffing. If you get like just like stovetop stuffing, like just those red cardboard boxes. I got an extra one so I could pull it up real quick. But it's one of those boxes. It doesn't matter which type you do. They got low sodium, they got pork, they got chicken, stuffing. Like all of that's good, all of that's nice and dandy. But what adds onto it even better? Just take some pieces of pepperoni, you chop them up into little quarters, throw that in, chef's kiss. Tastes amazing whenever you mix it into stuffing. It's even better if you add in like a holy trinity, if you add in like that celery, some onions, some carrots too. Those are always really good. But the pepperoni stuffing is something that me and my family love. It was funny because I hung out with my mom that day. I like hosted for Thanksgiving, and later on in the afternoon, she got a call from my aunt. My aunt had asked her if she had the pepperoni stuffing, because it's just a Smith family tradition, really, is that we always do it.
That is very interesting to me because I don't think I've ever had that. I'm completely blown away by it. Yeah, like that's very interesting. Uh, so it's normal stuffing, but you do put just like pepperoni on it.
Yep, you could
Okay.
always add more to it as well
Yeah.
too, like I'm saying, like what'll enhance it even more is if you add like celery, carrots, and like onions in it as well too.
Yeah.
Um, but after making it, it's like I kind of want to make it again. So maybe for Noel's little party, I might bring a little something as well. If he's accepting dishes,
Yeah. No,
kind
I
of like a
mean, I'm
Friendsgiving.
sure. I doubt he would deny a dish to be brought. But yeah, I mean, hey, if you're gonna do it, you're gonna do it, man. Like I'll help out. I'll chip in with making it if I get the chance to try it because that seems very interesting. And yeah, I'll swipe right on it. I've never had it, but I'm gonna swipe right. I'm intrigued. And when I opened this list right before we recorded this, and that immediately got my eye got caught on that one. So Smith family tradition, sign me up.
No, every year at all the Smith family members, usually on my mom's side, we'll have pepperoni stuffing. This year my other aunts and everybody they didn't do it, but I'm keeping the tradition strong. So,
Cool, cool,
but easy
sweet.
swipe right on that for me. Ian, what about you?
Yeah, for sure. So I guess, well, I think everything that you're gonna put on your list is gonna be a swipe right for you. Same for me. So I that was a very specific side dish, and I don't know if I can top that, but I'll try my best with descriptive words and all that. I'll start with a side as well. In my holiday meal, you gotta have I even wrote this down. A bomb ass side. I should have wrote a bomb ass cheese side because both of these. Wait, that kind of matches up. I'm gonna. I put mac and cheese or mashed potatoes. I'm gonna get rid of the mashed potatoes and just talk about the mac and cheese. So with my grandma's mac and cheese, everything she does, she's doing it from scratch. That means she's rolling each individual little mac. No, no, but it's basically like a casserole. Like the way it's dished in the pan, you gotta like use one of them skillets to break it apart and like scoop it out. You have the melted burnt cheese on top. That is the best part. Everyone's fighting for one of those end pieces. At least I am. Not sure how everyone else is feeling about it, but you get one of those end pieces where it's most burnt because of the pan, and that you're just in savory goodness heaven basically. And I don't know if you can pick it up on my microphone, but when you are touching the mac and cheese, can you hear that?
Mm.
Kind of, yeah. The sound that mac and cheese kind of makes. You know, like that's
Wow.
yes, that wop sound. So when you have that good mac and cheese wop sound, mixing around on your plate, getting in your mouth, it's a great time.
That shit bussin'.
Yeah, exactly, man. I hope I described it well enough because you had a very specific side. I kind of went with a generic one, but I try to give a little twist to it.
Y'all had like breadcrumbs or anything like on top of it, or just like layer it with cheese on the top
Ooh,
too?
hell yeah. I would not be opposed to some breadcrumbs. She didn't do it this year. But yeah, that's definitely something I've had in the past. But no, I think mainly it's about the cheese. Like maybe I don't have to ask. Maybe I would, knowing her, she's probably uses like a couple different types of cheese as well.
That mozzarella, that parmesan, all the good stuff.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. So how you feel about that, Grant? You gonna
I'm
yeah,
gonna definitely swipe right to that.
yeah.
I'm glad you led with the mac and cheese because if you said the mashed potatoes, I hate to tell you, Ian, but I'm a tater hater. I don't like mashed potatoes at all. So
Like any was this mashed form or do you like loaded
smash
potatoes?
mashed potatoes. I don't like applesauce either. I don't like so you and me, we've had the great cookie debate of what was it, 2016, 2017, where you and me like Ian really likes hard cookies. I like my soft cookies. But there's a limit to softness, folks, where if it's too soft, it's not worth eating. Like I don't like having clumps of something. Like I don't like I'm not a big fan of oatmeal. I don't like mashed potatoes. I don't like applesauce. Like I don't want my food to be that soft, you know?
Anything where you can also eat it with a straw?
Yeah, I kind of like that.
Like you think it should like mashed potatoes or potatoes should be solid.
Yes.
Okay.
Like you remember at Dala how they had like the potato cart, you know, and you got like the whole potato and like you got to
Yeah.
put the stuff in, like a potato bar. Like at least that was like more solid, you know?
Yeah.
Shout
Yeah.
out to all my Discovery peeps who know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, yeah. So, do you have also a vendetta on the way like mashed potatoes and stuff are served? Because you could like honestly, you could just plop
I don't like that either. I
anything
don't
that
like
could be served with a sloshy plop. You don't
what
like?
am I in prison? You gonna give me a prison lunch tray and you're just gonna slop the stuff on?
Yeah.
Nah, no. I don't like it like that.
Okay, well, I'm glad I chose the mac and cheese. So yeah, okay, cool. Nice. I'm glad we both swiped right on each other's sides. Where are you gonna go next?
I'm gonna jump on over to the entree. You know, turkey, chicken, ham, any of that, pretty good staple. That's what's gonna bring the people together, your protein. This year I made chicken in like an air fryer recipe, which I really love. And the key to good air fryer chicken is letting the chicken marinate with all the seasonings. You gotta put in the olive oil, the garlic cloves, um, salt, pepper, of course. I do garlic powder, some ground cumin, and paprika. Even though paprika doesn't like taste like anything, it just makes it look like that much better when it comes out as well. So I season it pretty well. I'll add in like some other stuff, chili, lime, onion powder, and all that. But I'm feeling like a foodie today, so that's why I'm being very descriptive with all my ingredients.
No, no, you should be. Like this is a food episode, so for sure. I love I basically every like uh spice that you just mentioned I have in my cabinet. And whenever I make chicken, I use that. I don't have an air fryer, but I use like a pan, like skillet, and that's how I season my chicken. Yeah, they got could just put that shit on.
Let it marinate though, man. That is the key. Like what I've seen those TikTok recipes too now where I'm learning all the hidden chicken hacks. Basically, you take a fork and you just stab the chicken a bunch of times, and then you like put it in the bag with seasoning with the olive oil. You leave it
Yeah.
like in the fridge for 30 minutes. All those like juices are gonna seep into the chicken because you've already poked it with the fork so many times. So much more flavor. So much more flavor.
Okay, yeah. I'm actually gonna have to try. Wait, so when you do that, is it when it's raw that you're poking it or no? When it's raw?
So
Okay. Okay.
like what I'll do is like I'll take a bowl and I mean there are other ways you can do this. I'll take a bowl, I'll like spread some olive oil in the bowl and then I'll like put all of my seasonings in the bowl, kind of mix it together. Also lemon juice, like some lime juice in there too also makes it very zesty. Um I'll mix it all up to there. And then on the side, I'll have my chicken, I'll wash it. Um After that, I will like get rid of any fat and then just stab the shit out of it with a fork until it's like looks like a murder victim. And then I'll just take a plastic bag, put the chicken in the plastic bag, put in all of like the bowl of seasonings with the olive oil and everything, so that way it like seeps into the chicken.
Okay. I love that. That's awesome.
A little
I
recipe in
will
that.
I mean, yeah, you said chicken, turkey, ham, swiping right. Yeah, for sure. Those all are amazing. I'll go to my entree as well. My grandma this year for Thanksgiving. I'm basically using Thanksgiving this year as like uh my examples. My grandma had turkey and ham, uh, and both of them were bomb. I'm just a big fan of edges. Like, like I loved the edge of the mac and cheese. I love the edge of ham, like having some of that skin of the ham where it's like chewier than the rest of it, and it's just so good. Uh, but for my entree, I said turkey and stuffing. Uh, I'm not like I'm pretty sure. Again, she does everything from like scratch. Uh, she makes that stuffing. It's not going to be anything that you put in like the microwave or anything like that. Which I've had it before. It's completely fine, but it tastes different. And it's not one of those things where she stuffs it in the turkey either. It is
Really?
the turkey. Yeah, no, she doesn't do that. She makes the turkey. This year it was very juicy. And with the turkey, it really does have to have that juice. You don't want it to be too dry or anything like that. I'll be completely honest. The other years that she's had turkey, basically my entire life, has been dry as fuck. And that's not been my favorite thing at all. But this year, it was just juicy. You grab a bite of the stuffing and you grab a bite of that turkey. Maybe you put it in a little bit of gravy, even though you don't like. Do you like gravy?
Not really
Not
either.
really.
Not my
You
thing.
see, I'm not a big putting gravy on top of things, but I'll dip it. And then that's your bite that you're putting in your mouth, man. Some turkey stuffing, a little bit of gravy, a little bit of love. Put it in your mouth. Yeah.
Have you ever heard of the Butterball hotline?
Uh, Are we gonna talk about this on air? What did you say?
The Butterball Hotline.
Oh shit, never mind. Yeah, I thought you said bad bitches hotline.
No, but uh, so taking you haven't heard of it before?
No.
So basically, it's like a hotline dedicated to like just cooking turkeys around Thanksgiving. Like you can call it's like 1-800 Butterball. Um, you can call it and it'll give you like the best practices, like it'll tell you all of the right like safety measures because I think a lot of times people like they just don't know how to cook a turkey, you
Yeah.
know. So it's an actual service that you can call. They'll make sure like you're cooking it to the right temperature. Like they'll tell you the right internal temperature to do it. Um, yeah, just a little fun fact. If you ever get in that situation in the future where you need to be the one cooking the turkey and they got a hotline for you, where they'll give you the best tips and everything for it as well too.
So actually, yeah, this was a very good conversation that I had at work. We were talking about like, so when we are the ones responsible for people coming over to our house for Thanksgiving, like maybe when we are in our 60s, maybe 70s, is there just not going to be any more turkey dinners around Thanksgiving? Because we were asking around the room, like basically the entire newsroom, we're like, "Do you know how to make a turkey? Do you know how to make a turkey?" We're all like, "Fuck no." So I wonder when we are that age, we all just never learned how to make a turkey, and it's just not a thing anymore. And the turkey population in the wild just has grown 4 times because no one's fucking killing them anymore because no one
Everyone's
knows
too
how to
s-
fucking cook them.
everyone's too scared to make one, so that just the
It's,
demand goes down.
yeah, Grant, like let's be honest with each other. Are you gonna make a turkey ever?
That's why I made chicken
Yeah,
this year. Like
exactly. Yeah, man, I just don't know. I mean, if worst comes to worst, I'll call the hotline, but oh my gosh, that it's just such a it seems like such a hassle and there's so many instructions. You got to keep an eye on it. Um, there are
you gotta make sure it
countless.
boils.
Uh-huh.
No, there's the fact you gotta make sure that it like gets to the right temperature. 'Cause if you try
Yeah,
to add stuffing with it too, like
yeah,
that can get contaminated. It's because like you need to cook them both separately, both the stuffing and the turkey, and then put the stuffing inside. So you need to make sure they both get to the right temperature. Otherwise, you risk your stuffing getting like salmonella. Exactly. So it's like yeah, it's to your point. Who wants to go through that hassle?
exactly. So who knows? Maybe enjoy these last couple of turkeys because next 20 years, 30 years from now, our generation is gonna have to start cooking those. Oh, I don't know about that.
I think we'll go for like a vegan substitute of turkey by that point, where it'll just be microwavable, maybe.
You
Probably
know
be easier.
how like with chicken, vegan chicken is called chicken.
Yeah,
With turkey, would it be tarky? We're gonna make a tarky.
turkey, turny. I feel like there's like a pun you can make with like phony and turkey,
Turkey.
turkey. It's all right.
Yeah.
It's not good. It's just turkey.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Nice. I like that one better. Um, but yeah, I mean, we both have some pretty good entrees. What are your thoughts on stuffing? I know you had pepperoni stuffing, but do you like the generalized stuffing at all?
Generalized stuffing is still good. Like Stovetop makes a pretty good stuffing
Yeah.
all around. There are other brands out there that are like more high quality. I think for it. Stuffing overall, I love. It's weird how it's like only a Thanksgiving or like Christmas time thing. Like I feel like you could
Yeah.
have it like more times throughout the year. When I lived in downtown, I saw it was on sale and I grabbed it. And I was like, huh, this feels really out of place eating it.
Yeah.
Like it's like having candy corn in April, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty interesting. Yeah, no, you can't really have it any other time of the year. It's like November and December. You're good.
But
Uh, where are you going next?
I think I'm gonna go to the brown beans. Another type of little side item there. Uh Bush's baked beans. They make some good beans. You put them in the pan. You let them sizzle. Uh, I don't really add anything extra to the beans. I just eat them from the can, man. They make them good.
You don't
Black.
you don't even take them out of the can. It's like one of the one of those nights. Didn't go grocery shopping. Don't get paid till 2 days from now.
What was it? It was like those I think SpaghettiO sells them like those weenies, those beans and weenies, where it's like the cut up pieces of like hot dog
Oh, Vienna
and
sausages.
yeah, or no, it's like get them in a can where it's just like pieces of hot dog and like brown beans that you can like mix together.
Oh,
I'm
I
pretty
don't.
sure it's all right. I remember having them as a kid. They were all right.
You're like, Mom, are we okay?
kind of like that, yeah. Weenies in a can, you know. So I'm not having them anymore now. I'm having just the beans. So,
You're asking yourself, am I okay?
but simple swipe right on that one. I don't know. I'm not as like particular about my beans as I am my stuffing. So, what about you, Ian?
I really like. Yeah, you gotta have some type of bean. Uh, come around this holiday time. Whether that be brown beans or black beans. You got
Green
uh
beans?
green bean. Yeah, why did I blank out on the other beans? There's like only three colors basically. Yeah, those. I associate beans. I'm gonna expand it. Oh, I'm gonna expand. Sorry, I just dropped something. I'm gonna expand it a little bit to peas as well. How you feeling about peas? Like, I like green peas and all that kind of good stuff. You kind of like the way I eat. I don't really care if that kind of touches. So, yeah, if I'm doing a little scoop, maybe some beans and peas are gonna mix together, and I'll eat both at the same time.
See, I was that type of picky eater as a kid where I had the tray where I like ate my food separately. I guess that's why like now I don't like the super soft stuff that reminds me of the lunch tray, you know. Um but no, like I was like that type of kid where I just couldn't have anything touching. Now I don't care. Like you said, like I don't care if my peas touch. But if you're mixing peas with mashed potatoes, I'm gonna still tell you to get out of my house. Just because mashed potatoes are just bleh,
Yeah,
bleh. But peas on its own are good. So they get a pass.
nice. Yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah, I like yeah, when you said brown beans, yeah, they give me a pass as well. The, I'm looking at your list right now. Like I don't know if I'm is this going to be our first episode where we don't swipe left on anything? I know
Oh, I
you did
swiped left on mashed potatoes,
mashed
yeah.
potatoes, but I decided to annex that from my list.
Well, let's see if well, it's your turn now, so let's see if you say anything that I disagree with.
Ooh, well, I think this one's pretty agreeable. I'm talking about them rolls.
Bro.
Yeah, so let's think about it. You got those. You got a variety. You just have to have some type of bomb ass bread, basically. That can be some Hawaiian rolls that you get from the store. That can be some cornbread that you can make. That can be some biscuits. Um, on Thanksgiving, I did have to work, but one of our staff members, our senior staff members, decided to cook for everybody, and she baked rolls in the shape of hearts. Those were delicious and actually eating love. Like I said, that sprinkle some love on it earlier, but that was legit love right there. Um, am I missing any other type of bread that you can have around this time?
I feel like sweet rolls, like you said, Hawaiian rolls. I'm not a fan of cornbread though, so I'm gonna swipe left on that.
You don't like cornbread. Okay.
I'm not a
Give me the
cornbread.
backstory on that because cornbread is so good. Have you ever had Publix cornbread
I don't think so.
from their bakery section?
No, no, no.
That oh my gosh. Next time we hang out, Grand, that is to die for.
That's what you'll bring to the party.
Yeah, no, the party we keep talking to is this Christmas Eve party we're thinking about going to. But yes, I'll do it, Grant. Like if I could turn you on to cornbread, if that's the one thing I can do in my life,
For
I
the
think
end of 2022.
before the end of 2022, you're right. Yeah.
Hey, I'm down for it. I don't know, just haven't been big on it. And the same thing with carrot cake. Like I don't know why we're trying to mix all these vegetables and all these fruits in our bread.
No.
It's like how parents try to sneak broccoli in your brownies.
What?
No, no, no.
What?
Yeah, like that was a thing. Like I remember like on the TV shows, like that's what parents would do is they would like try to sneak like vegetables into like brownies to get their kids to like eat them.
I think we call that nowadays like weed brownies or pot brownies.
Probably,
Yeah,
probably.
but yeah, like you got to do cornbread right. It's one of those things where it cannot be dry. It has to have the right level of moisture and sweetness, but like savoriness to it as well. So, well, I'll get you some cornbread, and we'll see how you feel about it. But in general, you need some type of bread, right? Okay,
You need them. You need the carbs. You need the carbs.
there we go. We need it, but we don't need it, but we need it. Cool.
Speaking of something sweet, another item on my list is sweet corn casserole. Oi. I had this year. Mom brought it from Publix. Really good. It this like I know I've never been a casserole type of person. I just don't think I've had many of like casseroles before. But sweet corn casserole, oh my gosh, Publix did an amazing job of this. Folks, if sweet corn casserole you see is on sale after Thanksgiving, pick some up. It does take a long time to cook, but it is worth it.
How long?
For us, I think it was like 30 minutes in the oven, like on like 350, but even then, like it still gets a little bit cold in the middle, so you really have to make sure it bakes right all around. Like I had a bunch of leftovers for it, and I couldn't have enough of it, man. Like I was eating it almost every day. Like I mean, I like portioned it out so that way I wasn't like eating all of it, but over these past few days where I've had it, it's been so good. So
Okay.
good.
That
Just
is
sweet corn.
awesome.
Just
Yeah.
casserole, sweet corn. It's like its own dessert with how sweet it is.
That's awesome. Yeah, we haven't even gotten into the dessert yet, but that sounds amazing. That's another thing on your list that I can't say that I don't think I've had a sweet corn casserole. I feel like that's something I would probably remember. Um, you know what? I've been swiping right. I'll refresh the app on that one because I'll have to
Yeah,
try it for myself.
true.
Um, but yeah, that's a good. I really like your description of it as well. Speaking of corn, I put on my list sweet corn off the cob, but I kind of want to have this debate with you with does corn does it besides casserole, does it belong on or off the cob to eat?
You know, as a kid, I would go to Chili's and I would usually get a like kids pizza and with it, I would get as my side usually like corn on the cob. And while I enjoyed my Chili's kids pizza with corn on the cob on the side, biting into corn on the cob, it's not that great of an experience. I'm gonna be real. Like, I mean, like, yeah, it's an experience, it's unique. It's kind of, but it's kind of like eating wings at the same time because you gotta
Mhm.
really bite into it. You really gotta rip it off. You know, just like with wings, unless you're like a throat goat and like you can just like take off all the chicken in one bite. You know, I've seen TikToks where people do that. Like, but corn, you can't do that because you gotta get everything. You gotta turn it. That is my experience with corn on the cob and my stance. Ian, what about you?
Wait, so your stance is that you'd prefer it off?
Off the cob. I'm swiping
Okay,
left
yeah.
to it on the cob.
Okay, got it. Um, okay. Basically, this year I had it off the cob, but I feel like I really enjoy it on the cob, to be honest, because it's You're right. No, it is an experience. That experience can be a little daunting sometimes because you're eating the rest of your meal and then you look over and you're like, oh shit, I still have to pick this thing up, like physically pick it up. I can't even use a fork and I have to like revolve it. But I enjoy it still, even though it gets stuck in your teeth. It's a hassle. I'm really not selling this a lot right now, but it's just something like my mom one time said that corn on the cob tastes better than corn off the cob. And I was like, how though? It's the fucking same thing. And but that's always been in the back of my mind, I think. But yeah,
I mean,
I think
I
what?
agree with her though. It does kind of taste better sometimes because like it's a lot easier to butter too, and that's the other like
Yeah.
I mean, there are definitely drawbacks to corn on the cob, like the experience of eating it, but taste, I feel like it is better because it's a lot easier to butter. But that's the other drawback to it, where if you're having this buttery thing in your hand and you're trying to eat your meal, and then you have to switch back to your forks and knives, you're gonna have buttery forks and knives as you're like biting
Yeah.
into everything else.
So my grandma hasn't had this in a while, but I remember growing up and I don't think a lot of restaurants do this, or at least not the restaurants I'm going to, but she has corn on the cob stickers where you stick it into the ends of the corn and then you only have to grab the ends of that and you would revolve it that way. Yeah, yeah. I haven't seen her bust it out in a while. But I remember those growing up. So maybe we should invest in some just for around the house because it's not like they're like disposable. They're like metal. You stick them in there, you can wash them afterwards. So it could be a lifetime investment of you eating corn on the cob from now.
Feel like this is something that should be on like Shark Tank, to be quite
Right.
honest.
Yeah. No, imagine, oh my gosh. As you said, Shark Tank, I just thought of an invention where you have two drills and you slowly revolve. You like you turn on the drill, like you eat it as you're. Yeah, I don't know.
I've seen TikToks of that where people will actually stick a fucking drill in their corn on the cob.
Really?
They'll try to bite it. It goes super fast. They're gonna chip a tooth, but
Oh
like
my god. No, I haven't seen those. That's pretty funny. Well, I guess people have already done it.
I'll
All
send
right.
one later to you. It's a poor man's corn on a drill. Corn on a
Yeah.
drill.
Okay. So my final verdict is I think it would be the opposite of you actually. So
Yeah.
I'll swipe right to on the cob. I'll swipe left to it off the cob. Although I can eat both. Yeah.
It's when it's off the cob, I feel like it's more like a topping, you know.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Where while it's on the cob, it's like the main thing. You know.
Nice. Nice.
But for my last dessert, this was something that I had the
Yeah.
pleasure of trying out this year. Apple pie, but you put some vanilla ice cream on top of it. Like you heat up the apple pie to where it's like nice and warm, and you get a slice of it, and then you just put
Yeah.
some vanilla ice cream on it to let it melt. That tastes real good right there.
That is amazing. Like I did not have the pleasure of having apple pie or any type of pie this year, but yeah, hopefully, maybe I'll try to do something for Christmas with my family, trying to do some type of pie because man, do I miss it. Do you how do you feel about the crust? Are you more of a are you trying to get just the center of it or do you want to get a lot of crust in that pie that you're slicing for yourself?
For me, I'm like I just like the whole slice. It's like a pizza, where if I get the pizza, I'm gonna eat the crust too. I'm not
Yeah.
gonna I'm not one of those plebeians who doesn't eat the crust, you know. For me, I'm not even like really a pie guy as much, but like apple pie, I really enjoy it. I like it, especially with the vanilla ice cream combo. I think it's great. Yeah,
That is
solid
amazing.
dessert choice. And
It
that's
is.
something where like most people they'll just go for like cookies or like something kind of chocolate or sweet. This is something where it's almost like healthy because it's an apple not really.
But yeah,
Again,
not
it goes back to like carrot cake. Like why are they trying to insert all of these fruits and foods into our desserts? But some of them
yeah,
work. Some of
they
them
do.
work.
They do. How you feel about the apple pies from like Burger King?
I don't like those. Like even like the apple pies from like McDonald's. Like
Yeah.
I'm not in love with those. I know some people go crazy for them. Nah, not me. Not. I feel like those get like a little too processed. They're not made with like the
Oh yeah.
same love that Publix like uses when they're making their apple pies.
Yeah, yeah, no, for sure. I I'll enjoy it every now and then, but it's not my go-to thing when I go to like McDonald's or anything like that. But you get me a pie at a party for like around the holiday times. Hell yeah, I'll swipe right on that any day. Especially, oh yeah, you mentioned the ice cream and being a little warm. Woo! That's some shit right there. Look at you see my shirt? That's what I'm doing with that pie right there. It's just ah. Oh man, that's some good stuff. Uh my dessert choice, I'm kind of having like a what is my life kind of moment because my grandma my entire life has called this dessert sin in a pan. I looked up because I wanted to give an accurate description to you on what it is. And the only things that are popping up, it's called sex in a pan. So I realized that she has changed the word sex yeah, sex to sin. And I've been calling that my entire life, realizing that she's basically saying sex is a sin.
Like having a sin on the beach, sin on the
Yeah. God dang. Oh, that's hilarious. I did my entire life. I never looked it up. I just thought it was called sin in a pan. Um yeah, it's called sex in a pan. It is a cake. To give you some of the ingredients with it, you get some butter, sugar, flour, uh, pecans. Apparently, I'm not sure if she put it in hers. But this is like the most important part: the filling on the inside. This is what makes it so delicious. You have icing, like sugar icing, whipped cream, and cream cheese. You top it off like that's on the inside of the fucking cake, Grant. Like the butter, sugar, flour, and the pecans, I guess, are like the base. And then on top of all of that, you're gonna put in chocolate instant pudding. So you have some pudding in it. You have vanilla pudding. You get some a chocolate bar and you grate it on the top. You can also just use chocolate chips.
Mm.
It's
God.
It is insane. That's why it's probably called sex in a pan because you're putting basically all these different types of desserts, chocolate, like chocolate bars, pudding, whipped cream, cream cheese, actual cake icing, and you're putting it all together. It
When
is,
so
yeah.
when you first told me about sin in a pan, I thought it was like a play on like cinnamon roll, like a Cinnabon or something like that. I
Oh
was
no,
expecting to hear like cinnamon in that ingredient list.
no. It just apparently my grandma's been filtering me my entire life.
But no, that sounds really good though.
Oh
Shoot.
yeah, like that can immediately I mean, desserts are for the end of the meal. You eat that, you're done for the day. You could take your nap. You could say, you know what, I can probably just knock off. Yeah,
Well, I'll let the kids play at the kiddie table. I'm gonna go take five on the couch.
yeah, exactly. But that's something else. I mean, I have the recipe pulled up right in front of me. I really like baking. Uh, Maybe this is something that I'll do for the party as well because whew, just thinking about it, wow. That stuff was good, you know.
I can imagine, man.
Yeah. But how do you feel about uh your meal? Like are you at this point you basically mentally already had everything? We basically limited our list to 5 items, 4 for the main dish, 1 dessert. Is there anything else that you would like to add really quick to yours, or are you pretty satisfied with your meal?
I think after all this food, I'm gonna have a Diet Coke, just to be healthy.
On a normal day, you would have a regular Coke, but you just you just had all this food, so you'll do the diet.
I'll do the
We
diet.
didn't talk about drinks. I'm a Southern boy, so I'll probably get some sweet tea on mine.
See, I'm not that tea guy. I'm not that tea guy yet. I don't
Oh
know.
man.
There's some types of tea I like, but then it's like, Florida, we make it like really sweet compared to the North or something like that. Like they
Oh yeah, for sure. For sure. Like I went to New York one time and they don't have sweet tea there. I mean, you can ask for it to be sweetened, but tea up north is not nearly as sweet as us because I make my own tea for the house. I probably go through a pitcher a week. I know that's probably not the best, but whatever. Um, to make it, it's 6 tea bags and a cup and a half of sugar. That's a fucking lot of sugar. So I definitely know our like the southern ways of making tea.
show. Yeah. For me, out of drinks, I had like some wine for Thanksgiving. Like
Nice.
that was good, like some apple flavored wine. Really going into the autumn vibes there. Um,
Yeah.
yeah. Other than that, I'm feeling pretty good about my meal. I'd swipe right to it. I'd swipe right to your meal too, as well, because that
Oh,
sounded
for
pretty. That was
sure.
really
I'm swiping right to
self-described.
your meal. I mean, if I wanted to add anything to mine, I'd probably just take from yours, like maybe some pepperoni stuffing, that sweet corn casserole. Like
Gotta
I
try
feel,
it.
I feel like our meals pretty much mesh together. Like that's pretty good. Like that'd be a solid Thanksgiving or Christmas meal.
I think I'm hosting Friendsgiving next year.
Do it, man. Ooh, yeah, good stuff.
But Ian,
Man, yeah.
as we're kind of closing out this episode, we've had like some Thanksgiving sort of vibes with this, some holiday vibes. I don't know why my camera zoomed out all of a sudden towards the end of this episode. That was weird. What are you thankful for this year?
Ooh, that's a good one. I am thankful for friends. Yeah, I'm thankful for this podcast. Since I've moved to Gainesville, it has been kind of a transition with seeing everybody. I'm 2 hours away now. Um, I've only seen you like legit one time since I've moved up here, so I'm thankful for us having this podcast so we can still connect. It's not like we don't text every day, which we do, uh, every day. But just being able to basically make it the excuse to not force each other to talk to each other, but we make it more of a habit to do so with this podcast. So I'm thankful for that. Thankful for you, Grant.
You stole my thing too. I was very thankful for friends. It's been
Yeah.
hard without you, Mr. Ian. So
Yeah.
very thankful we have this podcast as well to still stay more connected
Yeah.
despite the distance and all that. Yeah. Friends are basically my family too. My family is my
Exactly.
family, but my friends are my family. Everyone's my family.
Yeah, for
Transitive
sure. For sure.
transitive property.
There you go. But yeah, that was a good question. I like the way we ended that. Yeah.
Well, folks, hope you enjoyed this episode. Hope this inspired your next Thanksgiving or your Christmas meals as that's coming up. But as always, I'm your host, Grant Smith,
And I'm another host, Ian Castro.
and this has been I Swipe Right to That. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good night.